Inmitten der idyllischen ostholsteinischen Hügellandschaft liegt das Herrenhaus Salzau. Während der Sommermonate residiert, lebt und arbeitet hier das Orchester des Schleswig-Holstein Musikfestivals. 120 junge, talentierte Musiker aus aller Herren Länder, ausgewählt aus über 1000 Bewerbern. Und ein faszinierender Orchesterlehrer, Leonard Bernstein. Eine Attraktion nicht nur für Musiker.
Hi. I'll tell you about a certain Dimitrij Schostakowitsch, aged 19, was just finishing conservatory. This is his Opus 10. It's a quirky piece, if you know what I mean. Is that too hard for the non-English speakers? Quirky. It's episodic. It jumps around. It's never quite sure what it's going to do, but that's part of its main quality. This unpredictability of it. Some of it is very predictable, like sequences which proceed like Liszt or Tchaikovsky. Or Bruckner, but there's always something different, something unexpected in each one of these things. So he was being a naughty boy. In other words, he would set up something and knock it down. Set up a straw man, as we say in American idiom, only to knock it down again. Sometimes, however, he gets caught in his own trap. For example, in the beginning with the slow movement and the finale, it suddenly becomes a big symphony. The first two movements are very scrappy, very episodic, as I say, not quite homogeneous. They don't add up to anything very weighty. But the third movement, beginning with this extraordinary oboe solo, begins to be quite, well, people always say Mahlerian, and it is, but it's mainly Wagnerian because it's Mahler through Wagner that came to this young boy studying in Leningrad. And he starts out to make fun of Wagner because that was the thing to do in those years. You just made fun of Wagner. Everybody was sick of all that heavy 19th century Strauss, Wagner, and Mahler. And so the trick was to be French-oriented more in the 20s. But in the course of writing all these takeoffs of Wagner, including direct quotes from Der Ring, the Nibelungen, and the Fate motif and Erde motif, and lots of Tristan quotes. in spite of making fun of all this, he gets trapped in it, and he becomes in love with it. And little by little, it becomes so beautiful because this combination of sweet and bitter, of love and hate, of whatever you want to call it, suddenly works. And if you understand that, and if you understand also the operatic nature of it, especially the finale, then you can make a symphony out of it. And the whole thing turns out to be a piece. So, what better place to begin than at the beginning? Very good. Diminuendo more to nothing and short, shorter. Beam, boom, boom, boom. That's the naughty boy. And the main naughty boy thing is this a way to begin your first symphony? I mean, if you were graduated from the conservatory and had to write a symphony, wouldn't you start with pa-pam or something? It's this. That's the spirit of this first movement, anyway. And the second movement, auch mehr. Noch mehr. Spirit of up yours. He was so anti-authoritarian. Well, you'll see as we go along. Bassoon. Even more sort of double-dotted, more more scherzando. No? Trumpet, non-committal. Don't try to make an expressive statement out of it. It's just notes. That's, again, the naughty boy. It's not do, 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 do. Not yet. Third movement, fourth movement. All right? Right. That's wonderful. But you make the minuendo too soon. You know, the old great Furtwänglers and all those people used to, wie sie immer gesagt haben, die alte Greise, diminuendo heißt forte. When you see diminuendo, that means loud. Then you can make diminuendo. Okay, so diminuendo is whatever you were playing before, not softer. Okay. Good. Sensational. No, wirklich forte. I mean, really, wirklich. What am I talking about? Surprise us. Come on. No, yeah, but on the right beat. Don't look so scared. Come on. Just play scale forte. One before one. 1, 2, 3. Atta girl. And good. You go, yep. Pretty good, pretty good. There are some pizzicati that are running back there and a little bit in here, and I won't name names, but this is one of the basic diseases of orchestra playing, and not only young orchestra playing, I can tell you, the running with pizzicato. It's the hardest thing in the world to control. So, one before one. Hit it. No. It's not forte. Why aren't you playing forte? Why are you so frightened? Forte, loud, loud, loud. Come on. And stay forte until, for 4 bars, you have a diminuendo. No. Go. Tutto. Alles forte. Up, up. That's a girl. Now down. Good. You see? The last bar, you come down to mezzo forte. When the bassoon joins you, she has to join you mezzo forte. And she comes in sounding louder than you because you've already gone to piano. I don't know why you're so shy. Is it just today? You're not a shy girl, are you? By nature? Do every note the same, forte. All right, 1, 2, go. Better. Stay there. That's questionable. I think part of the reason is maybe you didn't expect that weight. There is... Let me hear the chord. And let's see if it can be in tune, like in B major or something vaguely related. That's lovely. That is just beautiful. All right. Horn, a little more. Where are you? First one. There you are. Hiding. Bop, bop, bop. Should be a long 8th note. All the notes should be long, except do, 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 do. Bop, bop, bop. Do, 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 do. Do that. Just do this one. No, no, longer the 8th note. Da, da, da. Da. That's the idea. In other words, it's very important what you're saying, and then suddenly it's not important. Bo, 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 sehr wichtig, ja? Bo, 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 that. Yeah, good. And then beep, 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 bump. Same spirit. Good. Come on. Let's have the chord. Sensational. Yeah. Very independent-minded orchestra. Everybody's making his own accelerando, some little bit, not enough, some too much. How would you like to play stringendo together? Like at 4. Why are you faking there? All down bows. Come on, you can do it. Use your muscle. Let me hear that. 3 before 6. All down bows. And. No crescendo. Deadpan. Yeah. Don't you have a little crescendo, espressivo, something? Re, re, when it changes from D to D sharp. Re, re. It should again tease you into thinking, something lyrish, something emotional, something lyrical. And again, it disappoints you. That's the fun of the piece. If I could only convince you of that. You all know what deadpan means. I could go on for 5 minutes like this. Deadpan. Totes Gesicht. That's what this is. We say, well, deadpan is a very great comic will tell a joke deadpan. See, he doesn't try to interpret to make you laugh, he just says the joke. Like Jack Benny was a master of. That's what this has to be. So every time you think it's going to be like that, you have to be the same. What? It should, as though it had no meaning. It has a lot of meaning. And you'll see, it'll all turn out to be very exciting and emotional and meaningful, but not yet. Thank you. It's too beautiful. I'm sorry, it's too pretty. It's portato. It should be dry and sardonic, like. This is a boy who says, I'll be damned if I'll write a symphony in the style of symphonies. The grand way, Bruckner, the hell with all that. This is my symphony. And then, before you know it, it gets more and more beautiful in spite of himself. Trotz sich. And then you'll see how it works out. But we've got to keep it dry, so lang wie möglich.
Will bestimmt gute Musik machen und wird dann auch mal ein bisschen Druck machen, aber wenn ich das mir angucke, glaube ich schon, dass das ganz toll werden kann. Mit ihm besonders.
Bernstein really tries to make the composer as well as the music come alive. Shostakovich is much more familiar to me now. I mean, I didn't know much at all about him before.
Oh, schon ganz schön schwer, ja, aber man muss halt üben dran.
I'm excited to actually see him conduct and learn from him.
It's the first time that I've ever been close to somebody of that nature, and that I've learned so much from somebody that had changed my point of view towards music and expression and all of those things that are involved with music.
I've heard many performances of Shostakovich that were very brutal and very hard, and I understand that, well, from what he's teaching us, that it can be many different emotions and a large range of feeling. You know, it's just as human a music as anything.
Bernstein? It just makes me listen all the time. I'm always aware of everything that's going on in the orchestra. I mean, I try more because he's so inspiring.
Comme des bulles de champagne.
If you think this was a naughty boy in the first movement, here he is literally imitating an orchestra that cannot play together. This is what he is writing, and we have to do exactly what he says. Just do it as fast as possible, all right? 3, 4, 1. Isn't that marvelous? I mean, it's genius to have thought of that. That the basses come out a whole beat after the cello have stopped, and then they start, what? That's the way it has to stop. But we have to do very clearly to make the mess correct. Because later in the movement, it all works out. It all makes sense, you see. And you know why you're not together? Because the basses, you play what you play alone. And Shelley, you listen to it, you see. Now, Shelley, you play. They play exactly the same notes, right? What's the difference? Well, they get twice they get 16th notes. Whereas the basses play always eighths, so they get ahead. They're playing the same notes. It becomes a canon, but a Fedorta canon. It's a canon you cannot follow. So. Isn't that marvelous? I love it. That's perfect. We have to make these two big movements now of Shostakovich. Beautiful music, beautiful music. And you will get a langsamer Satz. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now, let me explain something. It plays very beautifully. You can take a breath, by the way, in the fourth bar. After re, re, breath. Do, si, re, do, la, so. Okay. And then in the eighth bar, you can take a breath before the high note, because then you should not breathe before the return of the melody. So do, la, pianissimo, crescendo, diminuendo. La, so, so. And then in tempo again. Ganz ohne was? Oh, willst du? If you want to show off, fine, sure. I like the breath. Mir gefällt das Atmen. Aber if you want to show off, that you don't know, no, you know what you can do. What you can do is play it as though you were taking a breath. Als ob you were atmen, yes? In other words, ohne zu atmen. And then we're both happy. Okay. From the eighth bar. Poco a poco crescendo. Right. Keep climbing. Yes. Hold it, and more. Now diminuendo. Beautiful. Come on. Now again, we have another rubato situation, which is very interesting and beautiful. Your first bar should go ahead, because the idea is to go ahead. In this Tristan quote. Right? This is, remember I told you yesterday that he is a naughty boy and he's making fun of Wagner and so on. He starts by making fun of Wagner, but then all of a sudden it isn't fun anymore because he is caught in his own love of Wagner, and it becomes very serious. So as though you were playing Tristan. You have to take time for that. Then you can go ahead. Right? Then again, for the interval, the big interval, you take time. So one bar holds and the other bar goes ahead. The third bar holds, the fourth bar goes ahead. Try that, just from number one. And you are a real soloist, as though you were playing Dvorak Jelovich, yes? That's you. Beautiful. Now the biggest of all. Take time for this. Again, move. And take time for this. Good. What was it? There was one thing. I've forgotten what it was. All right, the hell with it. I'll remember later. Let's go on. 7. Now, strings, listen to me very carefully. These few bars are the most mysterious bars of the piece. This has to be so pianissimo, 5 pianos, 6 pianos, I don't care, with the bow as light as possible, almost not moving the bow. But this left hand has to be enormous, forte, forte. I know this is against your violinistic nature, and it's against the whole nature of string playing. But you must believe me. I will send you out there one by one to listen, and you'll be convinced, if there's time, that in the group, this will make the sound Shostakovich had in his ear, which is of some mysterious chorus from heaven, from somewhere. Try it, just try it. Fortissimo left hand, and almost nothing with the bow, just barely moving it. Yes, but you see, this is much slower. I mean, this is largo, it's a whole new tempo. This is not the andante that we've been playing, the oboe. Now listen to these changes of harmony. Yeah. Right. That's almost it. You've got it. You've got the idea. I think this one more time we'll have it. Okay. Endlich sind wir am Allegro. Okay. Allegro. Was benutzen Sie auf diese Piano? Gut. 6. Hörner und Trompeten auch, wie Maschine, Riveting Machine. Ja. Machen Sie das. Hörner. Oh, so, die Jackhammers. 13, nein, 12. Okay, streiche einmal langsamer, okay? 15, zweiten von 15. Second bar 15. 1, 2, dat. Noch einmal. Sie müssen zusammen. You have to connect. Let's do only violins. 1 and. No. The ha has to be together. The B natural. 1 and. All right. Get your note before you play. 1 and. Again. That's better. Okay. Now let's do it in the tempo, and you'll see. 1, 2. Okay. Now really in tempo, which is even faster. Take it. 1. Divine. Okay, the subito piano, please. 1 bar before 39. Ein Takt vor 39. I want to hear this entrance. Yeah. Now Brünnhilde wacht. Well, all right. There are 100 things to tell you. I just had to get to the end. After 44 in the presto, the 9th bar, you should all have mezzo forte and build a crescendo, right? You have that? However, tuba and dritte Posada haben nicht mezzo forte. Sie bleiben von sich so. Bom, 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 ba. Okay? And then, before that, at 43, which is alla breve, which most of you seem to know, but some didn't. Between 42 and 43, we're always going ahead. Ever since this Brünnhilde trumpet call, right? It moves ahead, ahead, dum, da, dee, da, 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 dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, da, da. And in this tempo, we arrive at 43. But alla breve, dee, pa, 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 right? Dee, da, 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 dee, pa, pa. Now you see, he keeps writing accelerando a tempo 3 times. What does he mean by that? He means only that he's embarrassed that he has nothing to do for a bar and a half except hold the chord, right? So accelerando means don't beat those bars. You remember this, conductor? It means whole bars. And then where it says a tempo, again we have to feel 2. We have to feel alla breve. So it's da di da da di pa pam pa pa pim pa pi pa pam da di da pam. That's 2 bars of it this time. Da eins pam pim pa. Really ritardando now. It's not just a tempo, but ritardando. 244. Do you have that? 2 bars before 44. Ritardando. Okay. So let's try 43. 43. Alla breve. 1 und. Good. It's better. Now, trumpets, you have the hard job, you know, because you have to play 8th notes. And when we go ahead, suddenly you have to, do you understand what I'm saying? No. Soll ich auf Deutsch sagen? Okay. Machen wir nur Blech. 43. Es ist nur a tempo, es ist nicht menomoso. Es ist nicht leicht, das sage ich nicht. Deswegen probieren wir. 1 und. Alles war gut, nur nicht die letzte zwei. Now let's go back before that to Brünnhilde's great moment. Yes? 40. Pianissimo anfangen und sofort crescendo. Ja? So. Heil dir Sonne. Alle. Pianissimo, sofort crescendo. Immer vorwärts. Immer vorwärts. Something like that. Oh.